Hey, good morning. This is Mayor Valensky with Driving Markets. I hope you're well. A quick caveat, anything said in this piece is an opinion only. It's not financial advice, not investment advice. It's just to give you a broad, quick summary of market events. Let's get going. Okay, so the big news yesterday, which I've been saying over and over again, I'm not sure if anyone's actually listened, is Apple. I've been saying already for several months, from the beginning of the year, Apple is a sell. And the reason being is because it hasn't brought anything new, innovative to the market. And yesterday, the shares fell 5%. That sent all of the indices in America down, and obviously had an impact on Europe and the UK, because Apple not only produces iPhones, but there's huge amounts of support services and ancillary services are provided for by international companies. And when Apple does badly, then obviously it's going to have an impact on the contracts, the supplies, and the provision of services that Apple receives. So let's dig a bit deeper into what's happened with Apple and the impact it has on the marketplace. So Apple's sales of its new iPhone are much weaker than expected. Now, the reason why they're weaker than expected is because we've stated over and over again that Apple is not producing anything new. What it's doing, it just keeps redesigning its phone, redesigning from the iPhone 8 and the iPhone 9 all the way through to the recent update, and there's nothing really new about the phone. So in other words, the company itself is on the way down, because any company, as I've said over and over again, that can't be innovative is going to go down. Yesterday was only the start. I'm calling Apple all the way down to below $100 a share. Now, yesterday's 5% drop is also a drop from the previous high of 168, and I was calling a sell at 168 already 2-3 weeks ago to sell Apple, because it's going to go down into the dumps. Bank of America have downgraded Apple from a buy to neutral, and that is a significant drop. They haven't said that it's a sell, they said it's from a buy to a neutral, and therefore any new buyers are being warned off of the shares at the present moment. Apple, first of all, will continue its downward trend. Remember, it's a massive impact on the NASDAQ. It's around about, if I've got it right, I think it's about 12.5% of the NASDAQ is Apple. The other 12.5% is Microsoft. So you've got two companies there that have got 25% or nearly 25% of the NASDAQ. What that means is that any effect on Apple going down or up, or Microsoft, has a major impact on the index itself. So take that into account. Next one to look at is Amazon. I've been calling Amazon down already from the 150 level, 160 level, and here it's running at about 114. It's going to fall all the way down to around about the $85 level, $85, because Amazon's also in trouble, not because it's not producing anything new, it's because the consumer is not buying the goods online and they have a supply issue. So Amazon is also a sell. The other one is Meta, or Facebook. Facebook, also the same as Apple, is not innovative, hasn't really produced anything new. It's bought in Instagram, which more or less has saved it, but now Instagram is going to have major competition with TikTok, which is about to receive a US data license, and therefore TikTok is going to be in competition with Instagram, and Instagram's profits or revenue is going to fall, or usage is going to fall. As a result, Meta, Facebook, is going to fall. So I'm calling Facebook all the way down to below $100. Presently it's about 134, 136. The other one to look at is Netflix. Netflix is also going to go down, because Netflix is going to have major competition from other online providers. So Netflix is also going to go down. As far as the UK is concerned, Barclays Bank is interesting. That's fallen to 144 and looks like it's going to go to around about the 130 and 125 level. EasyJet, very interesting, well below 300. It's really, really cheap, and could go all the way down to around about the 250 level based on fears of recession. The pound yesterday creeped up to 110 because the Bank of England has given further support to the economy and said they'll do what's necessary in order to maintain stability within financial markets, and that gave a big boost to the investors and the traders that the UK is going to be okay, is going to be good and okay, and therefore, as far as the UK is concerned, it's stabilized a little bit. However, the Bank of England needs to take dramatic action on the pound, needs to raise interest rates and continuously feed confidence into the financial markets. That mini budget was an absolute disaster. It never happened and needs to be cancelled. But Liz Truss, who's really pulling for political points here, made a big mistake regarding the mini budget, and she is going to show her weakness now going forward. I think she was the wrong choice for Prime Minister, and they made a big mistake. You can't give away money when there is inflationary pressure, because that's going to add further inflationary pressure. Yesterday, unemployment or weekly jobless claims in the States came out better than expected, and that also put more pressure on the Fed to be more aggressive in raising its rates, and the dollar is going to get stronger overall. Rates in the States are going to finish round about, and that actually matches, isn't it? Rates in the States, wow, it's a good one. So rates in the States are going to finish this year at minimum 4%, 4.5%, maybe even 4.75%. And the UK is well behind, so it's become more attractive to invest in the US than it has in the UK. UK rates need to go up dramatically in order to stabilize everything. However, that's going to impact on mortgages. As you can see, all the banks have pulled their mortgage rates, and the average now 5-year fixed is running at nearly 5%, and that is short term. That's likely to be pulled as rates go much higher. So Quasi, the UK Chancellor, needs to raise rates by at least 200 basis points to stabilise the UK. As far as Bitcoin's concerned, Bitcoin's running at 19,300, rock solid there at 19,000. However, I'm calling it down to 15,000. It's going to crack, it's going to fall, and therefore you need to sell Bitcoin. Mayor Walensky, Driving Markets. Share, spread it, subscribe, like, comment. Also on Instagram. Have a good day.